Marketplace, Rock and Brews, Canal Street Cafe, Ruyi Asian Kitchen, Cream City Coffee Company, all the best places and drink and food specials happening all the time. Sophisticated relaxation, incredible flavor, and a full night out all in one place at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. We will get to our latest celebratory, congratulatory message next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
ESPN Wisconsin celebrates Wilde and Tausch's 10-year anniversary, presented by Steinhoffels.
Our very first guest, Aaron Rodgers. Give us an over-under on what number would you set for how many shows we do together?
Daily, 52 weeks in a year. I'm going to say you do about 230.
Wilde and Tausch's 10th anniversary is also brought to you by Sendix, by Outdoor Living Unlimited, by Gruber Law Offices, by UW Credit Union, and by Events by Design.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right. And naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything. From the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys. Tito's is known for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
It all started with a small storefront and a big promise. Treat every customer just like family. For decades, local families have trusted Sendix to provide the freshest food, the warmest smiles, and a place where community comes first. From generation to generation, we have grown together. Because Sendix is more than just a grocery store. It's home. Thank you for allowing us to serve you for the past 100 years. Here's to the next 100 years. Sendix, your trusted local grocer.
Did you hear? Allstate car insurance now costs even less. So when you bundle with home, you can save even more. Check Allstate first to bundle and save with a new lower auto rate. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings may vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
This summer, the Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich and Pineapple Dragon Fruit and Sprite are back at Chick-fil-A.
Girl, it's back. We've been waiting. I love that honey pepper pimento sandwich.
And that pineapple dragon fruit and Sprite is everything. It's got that razzle-dazzle that makes you stop and say, okay, wait a minute.
I love the creaminess of the pimento cheese. It's savory, it's bold, it's flavorful.
Our faves are back. High five, girl.
Which fan favorite will you choose? Real customers paid for their testimonials.
25 years ago, a generational Bucs team made an unforgettable run.
This is the place to be.
Light It Up, narrated by Jim Paschke, is the new season of the Behind the Bucs podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. This is the oral history of the 2000-2001 Milwaukee Bucks and their run to Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals.
Absolute bedlam here at the Bradley Center.
Listen now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Selling your home is more than putting a sign in the yard. It's about having the right team beside you. I'm Tony Wendorf with Tony Wendorf & Associates, powered by Keller Williams. We help relieve unnecessary stress with our team's expert listing process, strong negotiation skills, and fast, clear communication. Our white glove service experience is provided at every price point and every step of the way. Start your home journey today by searching online, Tony Wendorf. Tony Wendorf & Associates, a real estate team driven by faith, gratitude, and results.
I love a good competition, especially when it brings together some of my favorite things. UW Credit Union, Wisconsin sports, and some friendly trash talk. Mark Tauscher here, and it is my pleasure to introduce you to the inaugural UW Credit Union Games. Watch Wisconsin student athletes from various sports go head-to-head until we crown the ultimate winner. Follow along on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel and all of our social media platforms. UW Credit Union, here for every you.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, 855-PELLA-WI, or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Sounds like someone's here to celebrate with us.
10 years with this show? Oh my gosh, what a run.
Wilde and Tausch's 10th anniversary is presented by Steinhoffels.
Greatest show on ESPN Wisconsin, period.
And this celebratory message is brought to us by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Hey, this is Eric from Green Bay calling in to congratulate you guys on a decade of Wilde and Tausch. Somewhere along the way, your show has become more than sports radio. You've built a community where fans can come together to celebrate, commiserate, debate, and usually share plenty of laughs. It's only fitting that you chose to celebrate this milestone with the fans. On a more personal level, you have all become a part of our family. Every morning after breakfast, my 4-year-old reminds me it's time to turn on Wilde and Tausch. The show has become the soundtrack to our mornings, and we're grateful to be a part of it. Congrats again on 10 amazing years, and as we say on trivia, love you guys.
Happy anniversary, Wilde and Tausch.
I love that we do this. And Jesse, I know you were part of doing it. I'm not, as I've told you many times, I'm not super comfortable with this idea of celebrating. I could never play offensive line, but one of the things that I identify with the offensive linemen is that you just do your job. You don't get a lot of accolades. They don't tell you how great you are. You remember your failures, like our Cindy Crawford interview, or when you give up a sack, more than you remember all your successes. And you have to do it every day, just like a lineman does. And so Tausch has been great. But what I've loved is having our fans have the opportunity. I saw Eric at practice the other day. He lives up here in Green Bay. He was with his kids. And I just want people to understand that it does not go unappreciated to know how much we have become part of your lives. So thank you to Eric. Can't wait for Blue for his celebratory message. I'm very excited to hear what he has to say because he's become such a crucial part of our show. Nice face. So this seems like a good time to remind you.
He might not have been asked to do one. I don't know.
Just like he wasn't asked to sub more than once. This seems like a good time to tell you that Gruber Law Offices has been a great partner of ours from the very jump. They've been with us from the beginning, and David and Steven and the whole team over there have been great to us. They're great friends of mine. And as I tell you every single time I talk about them, and they know why I feel this way, I hope you never have to call them because I don't want you to get into an accident. I saw one on 172 on my way here this morning, was almost late for the show. That's a bad situation. You never want to be in that position, and you certainly don't want to get injured. But what you really don't want to do is be in that situation and get injured and then not have the best team on your team. And that is why you need to make the call. One call, that's all. Gruber Law Offices, 414-276-6666, 414-276-6666, or go to the website, gruber-law.com, to find out more information. All right, so Brian, I know you're excited about this part of the program. I'm going to head to the coordinators. We're going to hear from Steno. The second time we've ever heard from Jonathan Gannon. Big. And we will hear from Cam Acord. I don't necessarily plan on doing this every single time they talk, but I felt like the first time they talked in camp, it was worth going to hear. And I knew that I could leave the show in the capable hands of Bryan Bulaga and Jesse Nelson. So, the 10 o'clock hour, the odd couple.
Brian did not sign up for this.
It wasn't, we'll just say it wasn't in the, when I got asked, this wasn't in the script. So, let's just put it that way.
Well, I know what a professional you are, and I know that Jesse will annoy you while I'm gone, so I will hurry back as quickly as possible. We kick off the 10 o'clock hour with Brian and Jesse next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Every homeowner has a list. That roof,
those windows, that bathroom you've been meaning to update. If you've been putting off home improvements, you're not alone. At Exterior Pros and Baths, they help homeowners upgrade their homes with beautiful roofing, siding, windows, doors, gutters, and bathrooms built to last. Right now, save up to $3,000 on your next project. Don't wait until a small problem becomes an expensive one. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com. Exterior Pros and Baths. Done right, built to last.
How much does it cost to talk to Gruber Law Offices after a serious crash? It's free. Yes, free. As in, it won't cost you anything to speak with us. Not sure if you have a case? Call our team at Gruber Law Offices today. Your first call and your first consultation are always free. And you'll never pay us a fee until we win your case. If you've been seriously injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Hi, guys. This is the Rocket Roger Clemens. You don't pitch in the majors for 24 years without feeling it later. Shoulders, elbows, knees. Trust me, pain doesn't retire when you do.
That's baseball legend Roger Clemens.
I tried the ice. I tried rest, PT, nothing really worked. When I heard about QC Kinetics, the concept sounded promising. Non-surgical regenerative treatments that help your body heal itself without surgery. Sign me up, just what I needed, real lasting relief.
Whether you're a former pro, a weekend golfer, or just want to walk around pain-free again, QC Kinetics uses cutting-edge technology and natural biologics to help restore and repair damaged tissue.
I trusted them with my joints. Now I'm back doing what I love.
Call QC Kinetics today and schedule your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298.
This is Marquette Basketball head coach Shaka Smart. You're listening to the home of Golden Eagle Basketball, 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Three-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Jason Wilde.
Time now for headlines as we predict what will happen on Sunday as the Packers take on the Vikings at Lambeau Field.
Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher.
I'm going to do something crazy.
Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Offices, One Call That's All studio at ESPN Milwaukee.
I'm going to say Kissing Cousins, Pack Bikes tie.
And celebrating 10 great years on ESPN Wisconsin.
He missed it again! And we'll end this crazy game in a tie. Oh, my goodness.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Well, you're almost right, big voice guy. It is Wilde and Tausch, but it's Jesse and Bulaga for the foreseeable future, as Jason Wilde heads down to the availability for offensive coordinator Adam Stenovich, defensive coordinator Jonathan Gannon, and special teams coordinator Cam Acorn for the first time during Packers training camp practices at Lambeau Field. He'll rejoin us a little bit later here in the 10 o'clock hour. He has left it to Blue and I. And Blue, this happened last week on the opening day of training camp. We ended up rolling the two of us on this show. I don't know what Jason's thinking, continuing to leave the show just up to the two of us, but we'll do the best we can in our, as he says, capable hands. I don't know if I'd use that adjective to describe what's going on here, but here we go.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Well,
I'm not too concerned.
I have figured out what we're gonna do, and we're gonna play things that other people said for us to then react to. Mostly you. I feel like that's our best case scenario here to appease everybody and make sure that we're gonna continue to get along as long as we can as bitter rivals here on the Wilde and Tausch program.
I got a question. Are you gonna play the clip of your Badger head coach talking about 5-on-2ing his older sons, and then we can talk about that? Or are you just passing on that and we're going to go to something different? I'm just curious. Is that going to be part of the clips that we play? I'm just curious.
If we're going to talk Badger football, Blue, we're going to talk about the brand spanking new beautiful practice facility, the Kellner family athletic facility that's getting ready to open up just in time for fall camp starting here very soon. We're going to talk about CBS Sports and other outlets saying the Badgers are a sleeper team that everyone should keep an eye on in the Big Ten to make a run this year, playing a pretty navigable schedule, including a big game in Iowa City on Halloween. Can't wait for that. Shock the nation. Badgers going to emerge Sunday night of Labor Day weekend against Notre Dame. Watch out. Sun Belt Conference Player of the Year, Colton Joseph, as starting quarterback. It's going to be a big season for Badger football. Morale is high after the hiring of Sean Eichhorst as the new athletic director. Any further questions on Badger football, Blue? Because
So we can do
this dance if you want to do this dance.
Yeah, so we're just going to pass over that. We're gonna move on from that and ignore that. No conversations.
Yeah, because we have more important things to talk about here on the Wilde Tausch program before Jason gets back. Yeah. Did you know Jordan Love spoke with Kay Adams yesterday on FanDuel TV on her show Up and Adams? He had a lot of interesting things to say. And so that, not anything Luke Fickell said, is the subject of Did You Hear This?
Consider it the radio version of a conversation at the water cooler. It's time for Did You Hear This on Wilde and Tausch.
That's right, Kay Adams in Green Bay yesterday. She has a very interesting style in which she approaches her interviews. It is, quite frankly, in a couple of ways, it's Wilde-like because she's kind of long-winded with the questions she asks, but she's kind of like everybody's hype person when she's interviewing them. She's always very excited to be talking to whoever her guest is, and she is always hyping everyone up and saying everything's going to be like the best ever. And it gets some really interesting answers from people like Jordan Love, who often don't say things that are very interesting. So 3 pretty solid audio clips here that I'm going to play for you. And Blue, I want to get your thoughts on all 3 of them, starting with what Jordan Love had to say about what he expects from Matthew Golden entering his second season in the NFL in the Packers offense. Here's the question from Kay Adams yesterday on Up and Adams on FanDuel TV.
What are you most proud of with Matthew?
I mean, I think he's a guy who, obviously, he's very hungry. Since he got here last year, you could tell just that hunger. He wants the ball. He wants to be out there making plays for us. And obviously last year, it's his rookie year. We had a lot of guys in the room. He might not have got as many touches as he wanted, but he was able to stay patient. And that's the key for all this. You got to stay patient, continue to learn and grow and build, because obviously this year I think he's came into it with the right mindset. He's attacked every day this offseason, and now it's going to be his time to go out there and just make these plays on the field. But I think for anybody that's a young guy, it's just patience and understanding that when your time does come, your moment comes, you got to make those plays count.
Jordan Love talking about Matthew Golden being hungry going into year 2. Blue, Jason and Tausch have done a lot of talking throughout this offseason about how the Packers have adjusted the wide receiver room and how Dobbs is gone, Wicks is gone, and with that subtraction, it makes defined roles clearer and theoretically some of the guys in that room happier. When you hear Jordan Love say that, what I thought immediately was that's just another confirmation that the 5-receiver friends cast that Tausch liked to talk about, that's not the way to do it. You got to have 2 or 3 guys that have those defined leader roles that are your go-to guys, and Matthew Golden appears like he's going to be one of them this season.
Yeah, I mean, how we went into the last few years of everyone's a number one, everyone's this, everyone's that, that's difficult to manage, and it's difficult to keep everyone happy. And then when you add a first-round pick into it, which expectations are high, someone's getting left out, and someone's going to end up being upset and disappointed and not get enough touches and this and that. And last year it was Matthew Golden. So I think what Jordan said with patience and things like that, I mean, that's correct. Young players, especially at the receiver position, have to learn the ropes, be patient, and their time will come. And I would agree that this year, I think we're going to see a lot of good production from Matthew Golden, because obviously now that there are clear roles, I think, in this room, you're going to see guys kind of take those roles on and run with them, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what Matthew Golden does. I think he's going to be an emerging star this year. I don't know if he's going to be like the leading receiver on the team. I think if everybody's healthy, Christian Watson should be wide receiver 1. And I think Jaden Reed with a full season, hopefully healthy, we'll see what he looks like in the offense too this year, because we didn't really see what that could look like last season. as he was battling everything. So it's going to be fun seeing those three guys. And if Jordan Love's slinging it with Tucker Kraft back, good to go, going to be a lot of fun, I think, heading into 2026. Next up.
Did you hear this?
Kay Adams with Jordan Love, this time asking about the Packers no longer being looked at as the youngest team in the National Football League. Times are a-changin'. Here's this interaction.
You're not the youngest team anymore for the first time in forever. I think that matters. Yeah. Does that matter to you? Yeah.
It matters, I think, because you want to have guys that have played together that kind of have some chemistry. And obviously we've been together, but still being young, there's so much stuff you learn every season. Now I feel like we've been through a lot of things together. We can communicate at a different level. But
time is now.
Yeah, time is now.
I think the time is now. I couldn't agree with that more.
No longer being the youngest team in the National Football League. That's been the knock against the Packers, I think, in a lot of circles the last couple of seasons. It could explain some of the playoff shortcomings, especially the inability to finish last season. We've been talking recently about how this team has been together now. The core group has been together for a couple of seasons. A lot of these guys, 3-4 seasons now, all playing together, the main cast of characters. As someone who was on both younger teams and older teams in your different stops, does what Jordan Love is saying here appeal to you, believing that the Packers are Super Bowl contenders because they have been in the weeds here together the last couple of seasons and they're ready to take the next step as a group together?
Well, does that mean a Super Bowl or not? That's up for debate. Right, like you got to see how things play out to even start talking about that. Like I've said it a bunch to Homer, and we've talked about it on our program. I'm more worried about the division. Start there, and then we'll worry about Super Bowls and things like that. But at some point, from the young player perspective or youngest team, eventually you're not a young player anymore, right? And you don't get to fall back on that, and that's not an excuse anymore. It's not a thing you can reference, and I think this team is at that point now. Guys have played a lot of football. Like saying they're young, they're inexperienced, they don't understand this or that. Like, that's gone, in my opinion. Like, they got a bunch of guys that have played a lot of football, and they're in the prime of their careers. Really, like you're looking at guys in year 4 and year 5 and year 6 and year 3 and things like that. Those are prime years for guys in the NFL. And this is when their best football should be getting played. And honestly, like, I'm glad that the young player, youngest team or whatever it is narrative is starting to drift away, because it at some point you're not that young anymore. And you can't fall back on that. Say, oh, I got to learn from my mistakes. I haven't been around like that. That's gone. That's out the window. Time to just play ball and use all that knowledge that you've gained over the first few years of your career and apply that constructively to games and preparation, so that there aren't these late game collapses or things that happen like we saw in Chicago last year. You got to build upon that, learn from it, and that comes with experience. And they have that now. They have plenty of that now, in my opinion.
Yeah, to me, it's exciting to kind of have that expectation now going into this season. It also means there's no more excuse for being the youngest team in the league. You can't say, well, we weren't able to finish against Cleveland in week 3 because, well, it's just something we got a little lazy and we weren't able to keep our foot on the gas. Or one of these late games in December, it's just that we haven't been there before. That's no longer something you can say about any of these core players on this team. Like, sure, there'll be a rookie here or there that might make a mistake, but everybody else has to be able to pick up for that. So it adds to the expectations heading into this 2026 season. That's what I heard from Jordan Love saying that with Kay Adams right there.
Did you hear this?
Last one. This is the longest back and forth Kay Adams and Jordan Love had, again, on FanDuel TV up in Adams yesterday. She asked about Jonathan Gannon, who Jason is at the press conference meeting with Stenovich, Gannon, and Acord here over the next several minutes. Here is what Jordan Love said when asked about Jonathan Gannon's defensive scheme.
What do I need to know about Jonathan Gannon?
Oh, man, I'm excited. He does.
What's he all about?
He does some great stuff. Let me say, we've played him obviously the past 2 seasons when he was with AZ, and that's one of those defenses that you got to spend extra time on during the week because there's just so many different looks, so much pressure. Is crazy, kind of just 3 safety looks that is just so unique and different than a lot of defenses you see. So, I'm excited to see it come to life.
I like that smile. What's his one-of-one play calling trait?
Play calling trait 101?
Just like something he does that's really saucy.
Saucy? Well, I say, just the 3 safety defense. Obviously, you saw it, with Buda Baker and the Cardinals when he was over there. But it's one of those things where it's unique. Not a lot of teams do it, where you can have, the nickel kind of playing. Now he's a safety. Is he a nickel? Are they blitzing? Who's where? So you got guys kind of just everywhere on the back end, and it's very unique.
So a lot of conversation there. Obviously, Jordan Love went to the well twice, Blue, talking about the 3 safety looks that Jonathan Gannon applies to the defense. When we're looking at the Packers defense and you look at positions of strength and positions that are some of the top concerns going into this season, we've said offensive line is probably the top concern, but then corner is right up there in the mix as one of the top concern spots. Does the scheme that Jonathan Gannon brings as the defensive coordinator this year, and Jordan Love mentioning the 3 safety look, having the 3 great safeties as one of the strongest positions on the Packers roster, should that theoretically then make this defense that much better and give us more confidence heading into this 2026 season?
Yeah, I mean, what it sounds like, and obviously with this defense, we know we have some very talented safeties. The safety room's talented, and which is a big plus. He's going to put his best players out there. And he's going to find spots for his best players to be on the field at all times and let those guys make plays and make an impact. So that to me is a great thing, that you're not scheme kind of tied where, we're only playing this, so I can't get whoever on the field because we're in this scheme. It seems like he's going to adapt to the personnel that we have and make sure the best players are on the field at all times, and it's going to fit what the offense is trying to do against us, right? Like he's going to try to dictate the terms, which to me is fantastic, and make offenses plan around what he's putting on the field instead of vice versa. It'll be interesting to see how everything gets deployed once they get going, right? I mean, you're not going to see much in preseason, in my opinion. Like he's not going to give much away there. But week 1, it'll be very interesting to see how these guys are deployed and the looks that he gives and different looks and shells and schemes on the back end. Because we all know you can have really creative things on the back end. But if you're not getting home with a pass rush, everything gets exposed. So how he's able to match his creativeness with the back end scheme to what's going on in the front 7 and how he's able to create pressure until Micah gets back, obviously, is going to be very fun to watch and something that I'm really interested in seeing how that develops over the first few weeks, because that to me is the key to this defense is how are they getting pressure on the quarterback? Is he going to be bringing pressures? Is he going to rely on 4 or 5 man rushes? And then if you do rely on a 4 or 5 man or on a 5 man rush or bring pressure and there's 6, what are you doing on the back end, right? Like, so there's a lot of questions that I'm excited to get answered once this thing kicks off. But I don't think anyone ever had a doubt about Gannon's creativity and I think just overall, I think quality as a defensive coordinator. At least I didn't. When he got hired, that was I knew he was a quality defensive coordinator. I know people he was a bad head coach in Arizona. Well, Arizona stinks. All right, the team stinks. They paid a running back $53 million guaranteed dollars as a rookie. So the team is not, it's not a good team. It's going to be hard to make that team be good regardless of who you are as a head coach. But you have to look at the body of work that he's done as a D coordinator and things like that. And his body works pretty good. So it'll be interesting to see how this thing kind of develops over the first few weeks of the season and how his scheme is implemented. And what it sounds like, it's going to change from week to week based on opponent and based on how guys are performing, which is what you want. You want to put in the players that are performing at the highest level. And then once you identify that, how do you adjust your scheme to that? I think that's what I'm looking forward to, and hopefully that's what makes this Gannon defense very good.
So, last question for you on this, and obviously Jonathan Gannon is meeting with the media, if not right now, in any minute here. Jason's at the press conference. He'll return to the show once he and Stanovich and Cam Achord are done speaking this morning up in Green Bay. So, Micah Parsons is out for the first, at least we're looking 5-6 weeks, maybe even a little bit longer. It's a new defensive coordinator getting acclimated to this new group of guys. You got a couple of rookies who could be significant players in this role, if it's going to be Cisse or anybody else. When or how do you assess the defense? Like, at what point, like, obviously week one, the Vikings have a good offensive team, and Kyler Murray, you don't know what they're going to do. They could come out and score some points on the Packers in week one. So I don't think it would be fair to judge the defense on week one and say, oh, Gannon didn't have the team ready. Is it in October when Micah's back? Is it a full season before we can fully assess it? How do you assess how this defense is acclimating with Jonathan Gannon as its new defensive coordinator, given the timeline of events here coming up this season?
Yeah, I mean, I think you got to give them at least the first quarter of the season, right? Like, and that's old NFL talk when there was only 16 games. So, like, the first 4 games, you got to see how this thing plays out and let guys get comfortable with the scheme and the adjustments that have to be made on the fly, and guys getting used to calls and everything that comes associated with that. Then game playing against a team, and then, executing that against a certain team and then changing it from week to week. So I think you give them 3 to 4 games to see how this thing kind of evolves a little bit, in my opinion, before you start making any judgment, right? Like, before you start questioning this or that. And then obviously once Mikey gets back, there's your wild card, and you put that on the table, and now things can completely change again. So I won't be too critical early on unless they're just getting absolutely ripped apart. Then there's some questions like, okay, like, why are we doing this or why are we doing that? But I don't see that being the case. I think Gannon's too smart of a coordinator to allow, like, Green Bay to get absolutely shredded, knowing that my best player, my pass rusher, my guys that's going to create the most issues for an offense isn't here for a while. So I have to figure out a way to protect certain areas of the field and certain players while still limiting what offenses can do. And I think he's a smart enough guy to figure that out and knows that. But there's also talented enough players on this defense that have to step up and play, right? Like, the guys have to step up and play. If we're just going to finger point at Gannon and go, he didn't get it done, well, then we need to look across the board of the guys on defense as well and go, who's not getting it done? Because, like, if we're just going to blame a scheme at all, like, no matter what, then why get Micah Parsons, right? Like, why go out and buy a player like that, like, or trade for a player like that and pay him all that money, or why draft first-round defensive ends or defensive tackles? Why pay Wyatt? Why do any of that if the scheme should take care of it? No, the players have to end up doing it at the end of the day, right? They have to win their matchups. And but I still think that there's plenty of talent on the defense that can get the job done until Micah gets back. But it's just, how are they deployed and how do they adjust to what Gannon's asking them to do?
Yeah, it does feel to me going into this season like it's not going to be finger pointing at the defensive coordinator the way that it was for fire Joe Barry or fire Mike Pettin or fire Dom Capers back in the day. Like, it's not going to, it's going to be on the players this season if the defense is underperforming. And I think that's the mentality that fans are going to be approaching watching the games starting right away week 1 against Minnesota. So I just wanted to know when at what point we start to judge the scheme and Gannon, and that's
like
interesting.
Like 4 weeks, I think, because you got to give guys time to adjust to it, right? Like, you got to give them time to, like, make those adjustments that they've been practicing, that he's putting in on the field live as things are happening and moving, and see how guys adjust to it. So, like, you got to give it a little bit of time. You can't just say, oh, week 1, this didn't look good, that didn't look good, this is going to be a failure. Like, no, you got to give guys time to adjust to that. And because if that were the case, Matt LaFleur's first game in Chicago when we only scored 10 points, people would have said, all right, this offense sucks. This team's going to suck. They can't score any points. And, this was a failure. And clearly it did end up being that. A lot of points have been scored since his first game in Chicago, week 1 of his opening tenure. So, like, you got to give things a little bit of time to adjust. I remember that week 1 game, like, yeah, we practiced it. We felt really good about the offense, but nothing prepares you for making in-game adjustments and doing different things until you actually go out there and do it live and get the reps. And to me, we got to give the same grace to Gannon and this defense as well.
I know you were playing in the game. I was still producing this show the day after that first Thursday night game, and we did take some of those calls on this show. Say,
I'm sure.
What is this guy doing? The offensive guru, he's got 10 points on the run. That did happen here on Wilde and Tausch across our shows all day. Yeah,
I'm sure.
See, wasn't this more fun than talking about Badger football in Iowa? And everything we could have done. What a great alternative instead.
Kirk would never say something like that. So that's not. We wouldn't have been talking about Iowa football.
Time now for trivia on Wilde and Tausch, presented by Cousin Subs. It is a Wisconsin Geography Wednesday, and one of the questions, actually maybe even more than one of the questions, for sure one of them, has a Bryan Bulaga twist on Wisconsin Geography Wednesday. Let's take caller number 14. Caller number 14 right now at 844-770-3776. Caller number 14, 844-770-3776. Your chance to play Wilde and Tausch Trivia on a Wisconsin Geography Wednesday, presented by Cousin Subs. Jason Wilde at the Packers coordinator, media availability. He'll return to the show once he's done up in Green Bay. Homer scheduled to appear coming up. Oh, a little Homer and Blue reunion coming up. But first, Wilde and Tausch Trivia, presented by Cousin Subs. That's coming up next on Wilde and Tausch. And before anything else, let's hear from Tausch as we head to commercial break here, talking about the great people over at Hard Rock Casino Rockford. A lot of fun stuff going on just south of the Illinois border. Stick around. Trivia's next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Mark Tauscher here for Hard Rock Casino Rockford, a premier entertainment destination just off of I-90 in Rockford, Illinois. Hard Rock Casino Rockford offers the most generous and most frequent promotions of any casino in the Midwest. And how's this for a little adventure? If you're not able to make it up to Green Bay for the college football opener, head down to Hard Rock Casino Rockford on Sunday, September 6th. At 9 p.m. on the Sunday night of Labor Day weekend, one lucky winner will receive a $45,000 credit, valid toward the purchase of any eligible new or pre-owned RV. That's right. Play now using your Unity card and earn entries through September 6th, and you could win a $45,000 credit for a new or used RV. Check out the full rules at casino.hardrock.com. Play, dine, shop, and enjoy live shows and the sportsbook. Hard Rock Casino Rockford, a premier entertainment destination just off of I-90 in Rockford, Illinois.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Hey, it's Ben Bruss from Kyle and Bruss. Join us live at IKEA Oak Creek Friday, August 7th as we bring the fun and IKEA brings the flavor with their all-you-can-eat summer meat barbecue. From 3 to 7 p.m., you can dig into IKEA's famous meatballs with a bit of summer flair, plus a delicious lineup of barbecue favorites, all for just $5 when you're an IKEA family member. It's the perfect way to kick off the weekend with great food, unbeatable value, and me and Kyle from ESPN Milwaukee. Not an IKEA family member yet? Well, sign up for free at IKEA.us. We'll see you this Friday at IKEA.
What life events have you experienced over the past couple of years? Well, maybe one is coming up. The sale of a company, death, divorce, a health crisis, or helping to pay for college or a wedding. Well, Annex Wealth Management has assisted clients with life events, but planning for them can make all the difference. Knowing what you own, why you own it, and how much you're paying for it is a big part of smart financial planning. Annex has an entire in-house team that works together so you can make informed decisions when life events come up. Click Get Started at AnnexWealth.com.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker, And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Buying a new roof might not be the most exciting thing you'll do this year. But for us at Big Fish Contracting, being chosen to do that roof for you not only provides income for multiple families in southeastern Wisconsin, but has a global reach and impact around the world. To us, it's more than just a roof. We've been earning trust for over 2 decades, roofing, siding, windows, and more. Go to bigfishcontracting.com to learn how Big Fish is renovating homes and redeeming an industry.
Every tailgate has one. One person who brings the grill, one person with the long games, one who's convinced this is the year. But everyone's favorite, the one who shows up with the carbless. Handcrafted premium cocktails with bold flavors, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, just 100 calories, and gluten-free. No mixers, no mess. Just crack one open and enjoy. This football season, make Carbless the MVP of your cooler. Find your bliss at drinkcarbless.com.
Hi, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Most contractors cut corners and disappear when there's a problem. Not us. Since 1997, we've completed over 60,000 projects, earned thousands of 5-star reviews, and were named 2025 Roofing Magazine Contractor of the Year. We set the standard for exterior remodeling. Trusted by homeowners, proven every single day. We're excited to show you why choosing Infinity means peace of mind. Visit infinityexteriors.com to see why your neighbors trust Infinity.
Hi, it's John Reitz from Great Midwest Bank. And while buying a home is a big deal, it certainly doesn't have to be and shouldn't be a stressful experience. At Great Midwest Bank, we combine competitive rates, fast pre-approvals, and honest advice from knowledgeable loan officers to help you every step of the way through your home buying or building journey. For 90 years, our customers have been part of the GMB family. Experience a state of tranquility at GreatMidwestBank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
Your premier Michigan golf getaway includes rounds at Sweetgrass and Sage Run. Book Monday through Wednesday for best availability. Savor elevated dining and unwind at the full-service Drift Spa between rounds. Grab quick bites in the expanded Sage Run Clubhouse or refresh overlooking the 9th and 18th at Sweetgrass. It's all part of an unforgettable golf experience at Island Resort and Casino. Plan your getaway at islandresortgolf.com.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, 855 Pella WI, or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Wilde and Tausch, Jesse and Bulaga for the time being. Jason Wilde attending the media availability for the Packers coordinators. Offensive coordinator Adam Stenovich, defensive coordinator Jonathan Gannon, who Jason was very quick to point out this is the second time in his tenure as defensive coordinator that he's now meeting with the media. That's great. So hopefully some good insights up in Green Bay right now as the coordinators meet. Cam Achord, the special teams coordinator. He's new this year also. Wonder how much he's going to talk about the kicker. Matt LaFleur happy to take a break after being drilled about the kicker yesterday. We'll talk plenty about that coming up, and I'm sure Jason will give us some insights from training camp to let us know if the kicks are going through the uprights today, which apparently has been an issue in the first week of training camp. All is well. No problems at all. Jesse and Bulaga on Wilde and Tausch. It is time now to play Wilde and Tausch Trivia, which is presented by Cousin Subs.
Wilde and Tausch Trivia is brought to you by Cousin Subs. National Sandwich Month is here. Cousins Club members earn exclusive rewards throughout August. Join now by downloading the Cousin Subs app. Cousin Subs, we believe in better.
Did you know it was National Sandwich Month, Blue?
No, no idea.
Well, happy National Sandwich Month in addition to the Wilde and Tausch 10th anniversary coming up on Saturday. Cousin Subs brings us Wilde and Tausch trivia, and we've got a proven veteran back to compete today. It's Bill in New Berlin. Bill, welcome back to the show. No Jason, no Tausch. You get Jesse and Bulaga today on a Wisconsin Geography Wednesday. How you doing?
Good. Yeah, I'm doing well. How are you guys?
We're great because we've been able to play Kay Adams audio and now talk to you, and then Homer's coming up next. And so Blue and I haven't had a chance to get into the debates that we typically would get in if it was just the two of us hosting the show on Wisconsin football and whatnot. So we're doing great. Blue, do you have the questions? Are you good to ask the second one here? I wrote it just for you. Are you good to read the second one here in Wilde and Tausch?
Yeah, I got it. There's a typo in it, but I figured it out.
Well, thanks for pointing that out. I appreciate that. It's very kind of you. All right,
Yep.
Bill, question number one you get from me. Hopefully there's no typos. Latitudinally. Leading us off right away. Which of these Wisconsin cities is located farthest south? Farthest south. Is it Twin Lakes, Three Lakes, or Quintuple Lakes?
Oh man, I'll go with Three Lakes.
Three Lakes is very far north. Three Lakes is up in that like Eagle River region, the true up north, as Tausch would say. Twin Lakes is pretty far south, close to the Illinois border. I regret to inform you. Twin Lakes, your correct answer for question one. Bill, tough start, but Bryan Bulaga has question two with a typo. Maybe you'll be able to bounce back.
Yep. All right, Bill. According to data from the 2020 U.S. Census, which of these Wisconsin cities has the largest population of any city in Iowa County? Is it Dodgeville, Fall River, or Onalaska?
Is Onalaska in Dodge County?
Well, wait a minute. Let's just make sure we're all on the same page. Brian, what county is that in Wisconsin that we're talking about?
Iowa County.
Iowa County.
Say
okay,
it one more time, Bryan Bulaga, and maybe say your name before you say the county, just so everybody knows who's saying it.
Am I reading the question wrong?
No, I want you to say Bryan Bulaga, Iowa County. We're trying to do a thing here, Brian. Come on.
Iowa County. Iowa County.
Oh man, that's good. I'll go with A.
Thanks, Bill. Hey, you got it. Dodgeville, the only city of those three that is in Iowa County. Blue, how did you not get what we were going for there? Come on. You're Bryan Bulaga.
I don't know.
You're known for Bryan Bulaga, Iowa. That's everybody. That's what they know you for.
I don't know what you were trying to go for. I read the question as written, and then you wanted ad libs onto it, and I couldn't. I wasn't there with you. I'm sorry.
Brutal. We'll get him next time. All right, Bill. Question number 3. If you get this one right, you get 3 of the 4 possible entries into the drawing on Friday for the Cousin Subs gift card. By mileage, this is a tough one. Which of these southwestern Wisconsin cities is located closest to Iowa City, Iowa? I'm not going to ask Blue to say Iowa because that didn't go well in question 2. Here we go. Which of these southwestern Wisconsin cities is located closest to Iowa City, Iowa? Is it Dickeyville, Cassville, or Shullsburg?
Oh man,
that's tough.
I thought I'd be good at this stuff. It is another guess. I'm gonna go with C.
C. Shullsburg is pretty close to that southern border, but not close enough. Dickeyville, 96 miles from Iowa City. Dickeyville, the correct answer.
Man.
Shullsburg, 110. Cassville, 121. Tough day, Bill.
Man, I I grew up around this area, man, and those were, some things I hadn't heard of, some things I didn't know. That's good. I like it when they're a little more challenging, but I wish I had just done better. So,
well, all you need is one, and you got two into the drawing for the Cousin Subs gift card on Friday. Bill in New Berlin, thanks for playing Wilde and Tausch Trivia. Always appreciate it.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, love you guys.
It's Bill in New Berlin. Played Wilde and Tausch Trivia presented by Cousins Subs. Homer is scheduled to appear next. Homer and Blue, oftentimes on the Homer Hour on ESPN Wisconsin on weekday afternoons from 5 to 6. He gets to appear with us coming up next as Jason continues with the coordinators. I'm expecting that Jason will probably get done while Homer's on with us, and he'll return from practice in the midst of our conversation with Homer. So we'll get to that coming up next. Homer scheduled to appear on Wilde and Tausch with Jesse and Blue. And before we go to break, let's hear from Mark Tauscher telling us about Jones Dairy Farm. Stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Mark Tauscher here for Jones Dairy Farm in Fort Atkinson. Jones Dairy Farm has been family-owned and operated for 7 generations in Fort Atkinson, all the way back to 1889. And when you say Jones Dairy Farm, the first thing I think is sausage. They're best known for their all-natural sausage made from the original family recipe. It's available in pork, chicken, and turkey, and it's all made with fresh meat only, and it's all delicious. But you also can't think about Jones Dairy Farm without thinking bacon. It's life-changing. What makes it so special is that it's dry-aged for up to 3 weeks, which leads to intense flavor worth the wait. Jones Dairy Bacon is smoked with real cherry wood and hickory hardwood. Jones Dairy Farm also makes naturally smoked ham and Canadian bacon, Braunschweiger, and fully cooked meatballs. Visit the Jones Market, open Thursday through Saturday, just down the road from the Fireside Dinner Theater in Fort Atkinson. And find Jones products in grocery stores across Wisconsin. To make it easier, check the product finder on their website, jonesdairyfarm.com.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Shopping for new windows and doors shouldn't feel like a negotiation. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin doesn't believe in games. They never inflate pricing, and there's no high-pressure sales pitch. Just premium windows and doors built for long-term comfort, beauty, and peace of mind. Buy direct through Pella, and one trusted team handles everything with Pella-certified installers every step of the way. Real pricing, premium quality, no games. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
From large manufacturer to local pizza shop and every business in between, Summit Credit Union helps your vision take shape with loan programs, great rates, and strategic solutions. Whatever you're building, you've got this, and Summit Credit Union's got you.
Paul Hansen here, founder of Iron Jock. Worried about the heat this summer? Don't sweat it. Our gear is made for real life. Iron Jock apparel combines moisture wicking with superior cooling and advanced odor-fighting silver ion technology that eliminates 99.9% of odor causing bacteria, so you are fresh for whatever's next. Our focus is simple. Make apparel that performs hard no matter where you are or what you are doing. Visit us at ironjock.com to experience the difference.
Sports are changing. Faster, stronger, smarter. So should your beer. Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer. 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, crisp and refreshing, no extra baggage, built for people who go hard. Still drinking the same old light beer? You're stuck. Flight is changing the game. Level up. Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer. Wisconsin, are you keeping up? DJ Yuengling & Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly.
Why DIY your frozen pizza toppings when Screamin' Sicilian already went over the top for you? We're talking whole milk mozzarella, heaps of premium meats, a mountain of veggies. Screamin' Sicilian is frozen pizza stacked, no add-ons needed.
Mamma mia!
Screamin' Sicilian, so loaded with toppings, it's almost cheating. Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer section and taste what all the screamin' is about.
Some companies build projects. At Professional Construction, Inc., we build relationships.
That means showing up early, taking pride in the details, and having each other's backs, on and off the job site.
We're looking for skilled carpenters who really care about their craft and want to be part of a team.
Not just another paycheck, but a place where the people you work with actually matter.
If you work hard, take pride in what you build, and want to join a tight-knit crew, then we'd love to meet you.
Apply today at professionalconstructioninc.com.
Every day, teachers and support staff step up, give their all, and make a difference for students. It's a great time to say thank you. I'm Peggy Wirtz-Olson, teacher and president of the Wisconsin Education Association Council. We are teaming up with the Badgers to recognize educators who reach, teach, and inspire. Think of an educator who changed your life and tell us their story. Visit weac.org and help us celebrate the professionals who power Wisconsin's public schools.
988 Wisconsin Lifeline. How can I help you?
Share hope, find purpose when you become a 988 Lifeline counselor. The 988 Wisconsin Lifeline provides free and confidential support to anyone in crisis. 988 has experienced tremendous growth, and more statewide counselors are needed. Staffed by Family Services, 988 counselors work remotely, are offered flexible hours, competitive compensation, benefits, and training. Apply today at 988lifelinecounselor.org. Family Services is an equal opportunity employer.
Paid for by grants from SAMHSA and the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel neglected or unloved? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
As Jason likes to say, you know what that music means. Wilde at the coordinator availability right now in Green Bay. We expect him to be back any moment in Titletown. I'm Jesse Nelson, the producer of the show. I'm stepping in as the substitute host for the time being, along with our cousin sub of the day, Bryan Bulaga, Cousin Subs, We Believe in Better. And joining us now on the Yuengling guest hotline, Yuengling, the oldest brewery in America, now officially in Wisconsin, DG Yuengling and Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly. It is our friend Homer, host of the Homer Hour, weekdays 5 to 6 on ESPN Wisconsin. Bryan Bulaga's on that show a couple of times a week. Homer, good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Wonderful. Before I let you go with Blue here, you guys can riff on all the Packers stuff you want. I heard you yesterday as I was driving to the Brewers game, and you threw my buddy Tyler into a tizzy when you said, I have reports that the Tigers and the Brewers trade. The Brewers offered the entire team to the Detroit Tigers for Tarek Skubal. My friend Tyler said, there's no way they did that. I said, yes, Tyler, he's joking. He doesn't actually mean that.
I am joking because actually they offered the entire team and one announcer. But Tigers didn't take it, so it doesn't matter.
So, and then you had the line, which I thought was genius. There's no crying in baseball and there's no trying in trades. And I thought about that for a minute. I disagree. I think it's good to know if the Brewers are in the mix, if the Packers are in the mix. Like the fact that
I have one question. Why?
I like to know that our general managers are at least asking or driving up the price for some of the contenders that are also in the mix for those players.
How would you feel if they offered the whole team?
Well, you're not going to trade 25 guys for one starting pitcher.
But they didn't take it. They didn't do it. So what difference does it make?
I understand your point on whether
I know, but you haven't come up with why you need to know.
I like to know that Matt Arnold is digging in and at offering or contemplating with his staff what to offer the Detroit Tigers.
He should just tell you we offered the whole team, right? Then you'd feel better. Because that's all this is about, you feeling better, not actually anything happening.
I mean, as far as the stages of grief, I'm ready to move on from the entire, what did the Brewers offer versus what did the Dodgers offer, and how did that all play?
What people need to do that they haven't done is evaluate how these things work. Because generally, and I'm sure the Brewers feel this way, you overpay at this time of year because so many people are interested, they want something because they think they're close or whatever, versus getting much better deals in the off season. I want somebody to evaluate, like they've rated how teams did. Well, let's see how it works out. There is not enough judgment as to the value of doing this and how they have worked out for all teams in the past. which would seem to me to be the only point, because otherwise you might say, I hope they do nothing. Why? History says generally it doesn't work. But you don't know that because nobody knows that because nobody's really studied it enough other than to feel better about your team when they feel like they tried. They tried.
Yeah,
oh,
I think to some extent it's nice to know that our teams are trying on these trades.
With Don Morton, coach at Wisconsin. He said many times he tried. He tried.
I mean,
man.
But does it not? I
They
understand.
never won. What?
In the scope of it, I understand that it's kind of ridiculous to say, well, they tried it.
Absolutely nothing. As you learned when the Packers traded for Micah Parsons.
But it's still better to know that the team did try and have an offer than to say, we didn't even bother. Like when McCarthy got up there and said, is a trade deadline today? Like, it's nicer to know that they're at least in the mix, that they're contemplating if there's a way to make the team better. It is better to know that they tried.
Then okay, I can't. I don't have anything else to say. When you tell me that it's just better that 2 and 2 is 5, I can't argue with you that. I'm sorry. Doesn't make a damn bit of difference. Every situation is different, and again, you don't know if it was the Brewers, you don't know if it's the Tigers, you don't know anything. So I suggest the Brewers, anytime they don't do something, they say we offered the whole team. So that you'd feel better, wouldn't you?
I would not. That's preposterous, and you know it. But it's nice to know that they were contemplating. What did Matt Arnold say the other day?
If you knew, would you feel better if you knew they offered the whole team? Yes or no?
No, but Matt Arnold saying they were.
Oh, wait! You want them to try, but there's a limit to how hard you want them to try.
No, there's a limit to the preposterous nature of saying they offered the roof on American Family Field to the Tigers.
They offer half the team. Now, are you still upset, or are you getting happier?
I'm getting happier, yeah.
All right, so they pick out the players that you wish they had offered, and they'll mention that they offered them, and, of course, it didn't work, but then you'd be happier. Who do you wish the Brewers would have offered that make you feel good?
If we would know the exact prospects they offered.
Whoever you pick, I'm going to tell you they offered those players.
Well,
just to make you feel better. Pick out, but I want to know which one. 25 is too many. Half the team is too many. So what would you feel was inappropriate?
Well,
because again, the Tigers didn't accept it.
I would like for McCalvy Adam McCalvy of Brewers.com had the information on who is speculating and talking to different sources around the league who the Brewers may or may not have had in this trade package. I would like to know if it was Logan Henderson, Luis Pena, and Adam Shesky from Double-A. If I knew that it was those three, two of the guys are top 100 prospects, the other is a major league starting pitcher.
My sources tell me that's exactly who it was. Now how do you feel?
Then I'm mad at the Tigers for not taking that deal and instead sending Scooble to L.A. and ruining baseball.
Yep. There you go.
Aren't you mad at the Tigers? Aren't you mad about this entire thing?
No.
Why not?
I don't know. I mean, I would like to have them have done it, but it didn't happen, and then so we move on, and it makes it more difficult, even less likely they win the World Series, but I suspect their view is that it'll tell us more about how the young players we have can compete under pressure, and they believe that the deals are way, way better in the offseason. They're going to make some deals. They got too many young players and not enough positions. But please understand that this is nothing compared to the biggest problem that the Brewers have.
Which is what?
Christian Yelich.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I mean,
you going to bench him? Huh?
I was
he should be benched.
I was
He
at
should
the game
not
last
play.
night, and I know Murphy talked about it after that fans started booing. It wasn't a lot. It was a dozen fans might have started booing.
I could never
him.
boo Christian Yelich.
No.
I could never do it.
But he struck out swinging early in the game, and a guy sitting a couple rows behind us last night was like, there's a shocker. Like, everybody knows it's not going to end well when Christian Yelich is at the plate right now, which is not a good place to be for
anybody. And that way
anybody.
for some time. I tell people, when you watch him hit, you're surprised when he gets a hit, not when he strikes out. He looks terrible up there. So, but what do you do? What I mean, Murph's a tough guy. You put him down to 7. That's the tough problem. They can't play him. He's hitting on the season about like Ortiz, which means in the last month he's hitting like Perkins. How's that? What's the worst player you pick up?
Well, I believe my friend Tyler pointed out as we were sitting in the stands last night, Joey Ortiz currently has a better batting average than Christian Yelich for the season.
Correct. Right. So, but Yelich has been good. So, I mean, I believe in Murphy, and I know Murphy is tough enough to make a change if he has to. But that's the biggest issue with the Brewers, to figure out offensively the best they can do. But the only way you're going to beat the Dodgers is not with offense. It's going to be with great pitching, because you're probably going to win 2-1, 3-2, or hope their bullpen is bad. So it's all going to come down to the level of pitching. And we'll see. I would assume Henderson, Harrison, and Amiz are the 3. And can they pitch well enough to beat the Dodgers? It's how good is the pitching. I loved when Murphy took the guy out. Was it Sprout? What's the guy's name?
Brandon Sprout. Yeah.
I've never seen in my life a player taken out in the middle of an at-bat unless he got hurt.
Wait.
Like 3-1. You're going out. Other than Little League. I saw it in Little League because you bring in some bum. Kid can't pitch, but you're forced to pitch him a little bit.
Yeah,
but I think Murphy's saying, like, dude, we ain't doing this. We ain't running with this. And he could end up being a pretty good pitcher for the Brewers. I think he could end up being in the starting rotation in the future. But he stinks now. And Murphy's like, I've seen enough. Oh, and they sent him down to the minors.
Yep.
He's done for the year. He will not, I believe, pitch for the Brewers the rest of the year.
Yeah, I'd be hard-pressed to imagine that he'd be back on the Major League roster.
I expect him also to be in the rotation at some time in the future.
Yeah, next year. Start next year.
Somewhere. So you feel better now?
I do. Thank you, Homer. I appreciate that. It was all inspired by listening to you on the way to the game yesterday. Steve the Homer True joining us on the Yingling Guest House. Hey, I have good news for you, Brian. Jason Wilde is back. Wilde's back in Green Bay. What's up, Jason?
I want to know if Brian had any comment about anything I said.
I agree with you, actually. I agree with your take on it more than Jesse's. You want to feel good that your team tried? I don't understand. To me, it doesn't. It was like when the Packers were going through that whole thing when I think when Goody said we want to be involved in the trade talks, but we're not going to do any of the trade talks. What's the point of being involved if you're not going to do them? So I'm kind of with Homer on it. What did you want to give up, Jesse? Did you want to give up the 3 best players to get the pitcher? Did you want to give up 10 players to get the what would have made the situation better?
You don't think it makes a difference? I'm trying to think of a relevant trade that didn't come. Khalil Mack. To know that the Packers were in on conversations when Khalil Mack was being traded. It didn't make a difference to you to know that they were in on that and that there were discussions being had versus if it would have just been, we didn't even explore the opportunity. We figured it was there's no difference in that to you.
No. What does it matter to me?
Because it means that the Packers are that close to acquiring a big-name player who's a difference maker on a certain side of the ball or at whatever position, and that's something that they identify as an area of improvement, and that they don't feel great that they have a Super Bowl contending roster across the board because they are exploring the opportunity to get better at that position.
But then if it doesn't pan out, then you're really mad and upset the way you are. Why put yourself through that when if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. The fact that you feel like you have to be involved.
Brian, and let me add, given that you've experienced it happening with Micah Parsons, that should make you feel how irrelevant all the other thoughts were. Because it actually happened, and you know how great that is. Why? Because it happened.
Exactly. It actually happened, so then you can talk about what they gave up to acquire him. So then then you can have that discussion. But if you didn't end up getting him, then it was just all hearsay and talk. And it didn't work out. Whatever. Time to move on.
And what the truth is doesn't matter.
Correct. Exactly. What the truth was or what they offered or what they didn't offer, it doesn't matter because Jesse, I guess
And
my
I would,
question is
I would
this.
emphasize, if I was part of this, I would lie to my fans to make sure they like me more. You know, I would say we did whatever we could, but let me just say the Tigers, and Murphy said that a little bit, right? Like, you didn't understand how hard it worked. Yeah. And I just want to let you know, I would lie. Brian wouldn't, but I would. My job is to keep my fans happy because it's all just BS. So, yeah, we did whatever we could. I'm not real happy with the way Detroit handled it. And then, of course, after I said that 26 times, they would go, you really can't believe Homer. He says that every time. Well, that's just the way it works out.
You guys couldn't be more wrong. You're putting me in a position to have to agree with Jesse, which is not where I want to return when I come here.
Go ahead.
But as I've told the story many, many times, when the Packers thought they had a deal for Tony Gonzalez and had reached an agreement on a third-round pick at the 2007 trade deadline, and John Schneider was the unnamed source that kept me apprised of the whole thing.
Yeah.
And
Love
Ted
great stuff about Schneider.
Yeah,
and
he runs the Seahawks, their football operation, not their full organization like you wanted him to be
3
president
Super
of the
Bowls
Packers.
and they won 2. Wow. Huh.
Indeed, yeah, he's very good at his job. But to your point about whether it matters or not, he and Carl Peterson, then the general manager of the Chiefs, had an agreement on a third-round pick, and 5 minutes before the trade deadline, Carl Peterson says, I can't do it for less than a second. Schneider, being the point man on the trade, goes to Ted Thompson and says, look, they're saying we got to give him a second. And Ted says, well, we made an agreement on a third. And John Schneider says this is what he's asking for, and he's not going to make the trade without it. And Ted said, to hell with him, basically. And they didn't make the trade. And Tony Gonzalez goes on to have a second half of his career that solidifies himself as a Pro Football Hall of Famer with the Atlanta Falcons.
Thompson screwed up, so he should have agreed to a second.
Well, in the moment that you're making that, if in the moment that you're making that trade, and you think you have an agreement, and someone reneges and changes it, I don't have a problem with saying screw him. At the same time, to your point, it'd have been nice to have him anyway. But to say that being in the conversations, like, I think it's important because it's also sometimes the best trades you make are the ones you don't make at all. And for as much, we have enough Bears fans that either work for us or Brian's buddies back in the Chicagoland area. Like, the Packers did make an offer for Khalil Mack. They offered one of their 2 first-round picks in 2019 and then some other picks. And the Raiders said, no, we want the team that's got 2 first-round picks. So they made the trade for the Bears. But if you ask Bears fans, like, was that trade worth it? Just like we'll be able to ask the same question of the Micah Parsons trade someday. Was that trade worth it? It didn't get the Bears a Super Bowl. I think they made the playoffs 2 of the 4 years that he was there. But then they ended up moving on from him anyway, right? He never finished his contract.
And you ask it because it occurred. On the other ones, you ask why it didn't occur. And
well, in the Packers case with the Mack trade, I'm telling you why it didn't occur. Should they have done that? That was 2018 that trade was made. Brian was on that team. Brian was on the 19 team the next year with LaFleur's first year. Like, would the Packers' history of 2019 and 2018 be different with Khalil Mack on the team? I don't know. Brian's the one that played on that team. Sure as hell would have made it a lot more interesting, but I don't know if it gets them where they wanted to go either. They played in the NFC Championship game, and they signed the Smith brothers in the free agency period before that season in 2019. So they went and got pass rushers. So clearly Goody knew that he had to go get somebody, and when he didn't get Mack, he did something else. But I think it's germane when you talk about how far into the trade talks you were, whether you got the guy or not. Does it ultimately matter, to your point? Well, no, you didn't get the guy. And you'll never know what would have happened if you would have gotten the guy. Like the Skubal trade, everyone's been talking about it for a week now, and I get it. But it's possible the Brewers could have gotten Skubal, given up whatever assets they gave up, and still lost to the Dodgers in the NLCS, right? And then you have the rental, and you don't have a World Series. And then do you walk out and go, well, now in retrospect, I kind of wish we wouldn't have done it. Or you're just like, hey, we gave it the old college try. We gave up these assets, and now he's going and pitching for the Dodgers anyway after his 2.5 months with us. I don't know what's preferable. All I know is I don't have a problem with Goody when he's been in conversations. I think it's really interesting, and I think it gives us something to then evaluate after the fact. If he's never in conversations, which was the tendency that Ted had, was he never even bothered to try, I do think it's different. That's just me.
But the evaluation when you didn't make the deal is 1/1,000,000th as big as being able to assess it when you get the guy or make the trade. The ability to judge Parsons is going to be so much more accurate and worth discussion because he was on the team, and you can decide. For a guy who didn't make the team, hell, whatever.
All right, last question.
Unknown. When the guy's on your team, you can judge. It'll be the same. So that, again, emphasizes the fact that Brian and I are 1,000% correct.
Here's the question for both of you, and then we'll take a break since we're managing the clock so well. If the Packers don't win a Super Bowl while Micah Parsons is on their team, will the trade have been worth it or not?
If they get to a Super Bowl, yes. If they get to a Super Bowl, yes, it'll be worth it.
Okay.
They don't even have
if
to
they
win.
Don't get to and if they don't get there,
wasn't worth it.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Right. There you go. Thank you. Goodbye. Go pick up your grandchildren. Brian, are you of the same mind? I mean, look, I do think it's not like the cake that Bart Simpson drops in the garbage can in that meme where it says, at least you tried. I'm not saying, participation trophies for trading for guys, but I do have, I don't agree with Goody fairly frequently. And I know he doesn't care that I don't agree. But on this, he took a big swing, which frankly, there were times when you were a player on this team where you would have liked to have seen them take some big swings. They didn't. So if they don't win a Super Bowl during the Micah Parsons era with the Packers, will it be a disappointment for the fans? Absolutely. But I won't say that it was a mistake or it was a waste or it wasn't worth it, because he is a transformative player, and there's a bunch of other things that go into whether you actually win the Super Bowl or not after making that trade. Is that fair?
I agree with that. Yeah, that's fair. I agree with that. I mean, because I think he does a lot for the franchise more than, what people think of just winning a Super Bowl. Like, I get that's the ultimate goal, and that's what you should want. And when you acquire players like that, you hope they can spring you into that conversation or get you into those games. But I think there's more of an impact than just that. Would it be disappointing? Sure. Yeah, for sure it would be. I mean, but then again, at the same time, like, you don't know what you would actually get with those first round picks.
Right.
And to me, that's where you look at it. I'd rather have had Micah Parsons and the opportunities that he could create than what if we had these first round picks and what they could have been. When we don't, I mean, you're looking at it from the same side of the aisle with the first round picks or acquiring Micah Parsons. So
did you guys in the locker room ever do the what if with the Khalil Mack trade? I mean, you guys must have known that Goody did actually try. And look, let's be honest too. Speaking of, you never know what the draft picks are going to be. Tausch and I don't see eye to eye on Rashawn Gary. Darnell Savage did not turn out to be what they were hoping he'd be. Like, the two picks that they would have given up were Gary and Savage. In retrospect, the way they exercised those picks might have been worth trading for Khalil Mack. Do you guys remember? Do you remember any of that talk back in 2018? Because that trade was made I think it was right before the season, kind of like Parsons was. Do you remember that at all?
I remember there was some conversations that we like there was potential of it could happen, but like, history had normally shown us that we weren't a true player in those conversations, right? Like we were, you'd be floated around in them. Maybe there was discussion, but we were never a true play. So, like, there wasn't any expectation that it would happen.
Right.
Right? Like there was never any, like, guys in the locker room like, oh, this is going to happen. Like, we have a good chance. Like, none of that was ever thought about. We'll just put it that way.
Okay.
Like,
it's a fascinating rabbit hole to go down. All right, we need to finish off the 10 o'clock hour, and I need to hear how things went while I was gone with Steno and Jonathan Gannon and Cam Acord showing us how to hold the ball on for a kicker. We'll do that after we hear from Tausch, who tells us about MoMA. More Wilde and Tausch with Bryan Bulaga as our cousin sub of the day. Stick around.
Mark Tauscher here, excited to tell you about my friends at MoMA. If you've been putting up with pain in your knee, shoulder, back, neck, don't just tough it out. Believe me, after all those years playing football, I know a thing or two about aches and pains. That's why I've partnered up with MoMA, the Midwest Orthopedic and Musculoskeletal Alliance. MoMA brings together trusted local providers like OIW, SMOC, and Innovative Pain, making it easier to find the right specialist and the right treatment for you. Whether you need care in one of their offices, the surgery center, ortho laser, which is what I've been using, smart scan, or MOSH, their experienced team is focused on helping you feel better and get back to living your life. Certainly helped me overcome some pretty bad knee pain thanks to the treatment at ortho laser that I've received throughout the summer. MoMA can get you back to doing what you love. Man, I highly recommend seeing their team, as I personally have seen what the right care can do. Call or walk in or learn more at MoMaMKE.com. That's MoMaMKE.com.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
One great day of golf can change lives. Join us Monday, August 31st for the Salvation Army Milwaukee County's Swing for the Kettle Golf Invitational at Oakwood Park Golf Course in Franklin.
Your participation directly supports food, shelter, and life-changing programs for children and families throughout our community.
We'll be broadcasting live from the course, but the day is really about you, getting golfers and sponsors together to make a difference.
Foursomes, individual golfers, and sponsors are all welcome. Reserve your spot today at samilwaukee.org. That's samilwaukee.org.
My overall experience with Gruber Law Offices has been phenomenal.
The treatment was excellent.
They will be supportive of you. They will listen to you.
It was a great experience knowing that I had people to help me.
I know I could count on them to do what I needed to get done.
Experience with Gruber was great.
They gave me my life back.
It was amazing.
He gets results.
We know how to win. If you've been injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Gruber Law Offices had my best interests at heart.
Mark Tauscher here, and if you know me, you know I love Wisconsin. That's why I'm a UW Credit Union member. Their team's been all about Wisconsin since 1931, and they love making banking easy for members. Whether it's with their convenient mobile app or with the great perks like early payday to get you paid sooner. Stop by any of their local branches or visit uwcu.org to join and become a UW Credit Union member like I did. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Chris Canty.
I don't know how many quarterbacks you can use Kwesi Adofo-Mensah, the former general manager, as the scapegoat for. J.J. McCarthy didn't work out. It's clear and obvious. Justin Jefferson isn't happy, which is a key in all of this. They fired the general manager, brought in somebody else. The head coach went out and got Kyler Murray to be a part of this quarterback competition. This has to work in Minnesota, and I don't know that the organization is going to continue to gamble away seasons on the promise that once upon a time was J.J. McCarthy. I think this is Kyler's show. If J.J. McCarthy somehow, someway ends up starting games, it would be because he blew everybody away in his training camp in preseason, or it would be because of an injury to Kyler. And I think those are both long shots as we sit here today.
Download
to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code CLEAR to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code CLEAR to borrow up to $10,000. Use code CLEAR to borrow up to $10,000.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
All right, I see that we're a little bit behind schedule now upon my return, but it's good to be back. I'm happy to be here. Jesse, did you lose control while you were with Homer there? I mean, I came back at 10:49, and not only was he still talking, but then we kept talking with him till about 11:05. Everything go okay while I was gone?
Quite frankly, my intention there was to hand things over to Homer and Blue to talk about, football things. I just wanted to mention that I was listening to Homer on my way into the Brewers game with Tier 1 Tyler yesterday. He had this take on not caring about what the trade offer was that the Brewers offered the Tigers, and little did I know, 35 minutes later, we're still wrapping up the conversation on it. But I'm glad you're on my team with it. It's nice to have some backing. I appreciate that.
I'm not thrilled to have to acknowledge that, but that's the truth. All right, I want to get to the 11 o'clock hour because Cam Acord talked and demonstrated how to hold a ball for a field goal kicker, which, again, I do want to say it was great. It was really interesting. I enjoyed it. Kind of like I don't give a damn about whether or not you were negotiating the trade. You didn't get the guy. There was a lot of misdirection. We're worried about how he hits the ball. We're not necessarily worried about whether it goes through at practice. Where the wins at Radnitsky Field are worse than they are at Lambeau. So that's factoring into his performance. Again, I understand they have to support their guy. But there was a lot of that, and Cam Acord he's entertaining. I know everybody thinks I love Bisaccia, but he was really good. Jonathan Gannon addressed a bunch of things on defense, and then we talked to Steno, who was the only guy that we didn't have to introduce ourselves to. I'll explain that in a second. But I channeled my inner, in fact, I even said it, I channeled my inner Campy with a question about the left tackle backup situation. And his answer should not have Bryan Bulaga smiling. He should be concerned. We will get to all that during the 11 o'clock hour after I tell you about Bucks Plus and the amazing series that has been so good for so long. Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus audio network, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. It's been such a great series, but now we've gotten to my wheelhouse. Light It Up, narrated by Bucks broadcasting legend, and that is precisely the word, Jim Paschke. It's an oral history of the 2000-2001 Milwaukee Bucks, a team that I covered. Ray Allen, Big Dog, Sam Cassell, Tim Thomas. From the Big Three to a Hall of Fame coach in George Karl, this is the story of a generational team that brought the city together and brought the Bradley Center to life. You can find Behind the Bucks on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get your podcast. Behind the Bucks, presented by Gallagher. We'll kick off the 11 o'clock hour, a bit tardy, but it'll be worth it, in 2 minutes, so stick around.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right. And naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything. From the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys. Tito's is known for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
What life events have you experienced over the past couple of years? Well, maybe one is coming up. The sale of a company, death, divorce, a health crisis, or helping to pay for college or a wedding. Well, Annex Wealth Management has assisted clients with life events, but planning for them can make all the difference. Knowing what you own, why you own it, and how much you're paying for it is a big part of smart financial planning. Annex has an entire in-house team that works together so you can make informed decisions when life events come up. Click Get Started at annexwealth.com.
Catch a battle between two of the National League's best when the Brewers take on the Braves Friday, August 21st and Saturday the 22nd. It's a weekend of great matchups and great events as the Brewers celebrate Black Culture Fest at the opener Friday the 21st, featuring live art, live music performances, and a maker's market. Then it's Hank Aaron replica jersey giveaway day on the 22nd, courtesy of UW Credit Union. Don't miss it. Get your tickets today at brewers.com.
Your grill just got an upgrade, and it's right down the road.
Burn Pit BBQ is now available at Walmart.
That means no waiting, no guessing. Just grab it, fire up the grill, and get to work.
We're talking premium rubs, sauces, and seasonings made for real flavor and real results.
Every single time you cook.
Whether it's a quick weeknight dinner or a full weekend cookout with friends and family, Burn Pit BBQ helps you bring bold, consistent flavor to every bite.
Head to your local Walmart and find Burn Pit BBQ today, right in your neighborhood.
Because better BBQ should be easy to get and even easier to enjoy.
This is Wisconsin basketball head coach Greg Gard. This is 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD2, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Jason Wilde.
Joining us now is the Green Bay Packers' new head coach, Matt LaFleur on Wilde and Tausch.
Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher.
Matt LaFleur, Matt Nagy, and Matt Patricia. Who is the most famous non-NFC North head coach not named Matt? No, I'm sorry.
Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at ESPN Milwaukee.
Who is the most famous non-NFC North head coach named Matt? Matt Damon, Matt Ryan, somebody else.
And celebrating 10 great years on ESPN Wisconsin.
Can you repeat that question?
Sorry.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch, with Bryan Bulaga as our cousin sub of the day, cousin subs, we believe in better, begins now. We'll get to Steno and the conversation about the offensive line. Said some really positive things about Jacob Monk, who has some opportunity here after 2 years of not having much of a role, frankly. Interesting comments on John Williams, the rocket scientist who basically took a medical red shirt as a 7th-round pick last year because of back issues. He has worked at center, he's worked at guard, he's worked at tackle, talking about how smart he is. Of course he is. He's a rocket scientist. But he also talked about the left tackle that is the starter, Jordan Morgan, which was interesting. And he talked about what they would do if Jordan Morgan wasn't available, which was not as interesting so much as it was concerning. So we will play that for you coming up in the next segment. But Bryan, I got to ask, like, you know, during your time, you know, you were with Mason Crosby. I think he was the kicker for the entirety of your career. You guys were teammates together, right? So, and look, he had a rough patch. He talks all the time about how much Charles Woodson helped him late in the 2012 season when he was struggling. And then Giorgio Tavecchio came in, or as Mike McCarthy called him, Sergio, because he didn't know his name, or got it wrong, who was his competition, but also turned into kind of this friend and support system where he and I always respect this about Giorgio, and I would argue that that's what Lucas Havrisik could have been right now if they had kept him around. He was such an authentically good dude that even though it wasn't in his best interest to help the draft pick guy or the incumbent guy in his case with Mason, he still did. And he got some opportunities with the Raiders and elsewhere later in his career, but like instead of being like, I'm going to beat this guy because he sucked last year, he actually kind of helped Mason, and Mason has told that story many times. So as I listened to Cam Acord, I didn't want to be roll your eyes guy, but the bottom line, this idea that we're not really focused on the results in practice and stuff like that. I get it. I understand it. I'm a process guy, not a results guy, but results do matter. So yeah, it's great that he hit the ball solidly, but if it doesn't go through the uprights, we're not giving out orange slices and juice boxes afterward because, hey, you tried. So, Brian, I don't want to make this. And the minute he got drafted on day 3 of the draft, I was like, oh, God, here we go again. This is going to be a story. And if he's not just good at the start of camp, it's going to become a bigger story because I've lived through it. And in fairness, frankly, to Anders Carlson, he was pretty good right away in 2023. So yes, there was talk about him replacing Mason and whatever else, but like he didn't struggle in camp severely. And then he like made his first 16 kicks when the season started. So we didn't have this. Instead, now we do. And for you, having been a regular starter on offense or defense, and when there's this kind of uncertainty around the kicking position, what's going through your head? Put yourself in in Z-Box place or in Jordan Love's place when this is going on during training camp.
Yeah, I mean, I think, especially right now in training camp, you want to give this young kid, because I mean, you've drafted him and essentially said he's going to be the starter from day one with the way you've released the other players, right? Like McManus and Havrisik. You want to give him as much grace and time as possible to get comfortable, and like you don't want to think about it. You don't, even when you're doing the live kicks, like they're not going in. You're just kind of you support them and do this and that. But at some point in time in camp, they need to be going in extremely consistently, or guys you're going to start to hear murmurs and mumbles, and guys are going to start to get a little irritated by it. And then that gets transferred on to him because he hears it too. And then when you're starting to lose trust in your teammates, because unfortunately for kickers, they're needed in the biggest moments or in clutch moments in certain situations. And we've experienced that as Packer fans over the last few years, right? When we've needed that and we haven't had it, and how much that kind of bites you in the butt. Well, the players feel it tenfold, right? They feel like they've done all this work. They've gotten the kicker into the proper position or down the field far enough, or they've cut that 50-yard field goal to maybe a 42-yard field goal and made it a little bit easier, and they took the risk of running a couple extra. Like, there's a lot of things that can happen, and they've done their job to put the kicker in the best scenario possible, essentially, and it doesn't go in. And the first one won't do it to you. It's like the second and third and fourth one, you start to get very irritated by it, right? And obviously Mason had a bunch of, what do they call it, pelts on the wall for how good he had been when he went through his struggles that one season. So like guys knew what he was capable of and what he could come through. This kid doesn't have that. He has no pelts on the wall, so to speak, to lean back on. And the level of, I guess, patience, we'll see how long that lasts, because I always said, like, let's wait to get into preseason games to see how he does, right? Because obviously he's going to kick in preseason, no doubt about that. And let's see how it goes. If kicks aren't going through consistently by the second preseason game, guys are going to start getting frustrated, and the patience is going to be very, very thin, and that's not good, right? And to me, this is certainly something to keep an eye on, because, like, I'm with you. Like, yeah, we want him to strike the ball solid, obviously. Like, yes, that is what we would like, is the ball to be struck solid. But we want it to be struck solid through the two uprights. That's where it needs to go. Like, there's no black and white with kicking. Like, or like, there's no, like, in between with kicking. Like, oh, it was struck well, but it went far right. Like, no, that means it wasn't struck well. That means it was not struck well if it went far right. I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, and Mason always did it too. Like, you relate it to golf. Like, if you slice the hell out of a drive, I didn't hit that well. I hit that like crap. Like that, like that's what it is for kickers. Like, if he blasts it wide right, that was a terrible strike. Like, what is that? Like that's the only way to look at it. Like, it's this, and it's every position in the NFL. Like, I'm not picking on kickers here. Like, if I whiff a block, like, wow, that was really bad. Like, that was terrible. Like, yes, if Jordan Love throws a really terrible interception, wow, what a pass. What a ball by Jordan. Great decision there, bud. Like, so, like, everyone gets criticized for it. And unfortunately for the kicking situation right now in Green Bay, it's a rookie that's essentially been crowned the starter without any competition, really, and we're seeing some early negative results, and the criticism's going to be there. You can try to protect them all you want, but eventually referees will raise their arms in a game here. Eventually they're going to say no good, or they're going to put their arms up and say it was good, and the results are what they are, and that's just the nature of this thing, man.
I had a good conversation, and I know you were you have a bunch of respect for Rob Davis, who obviously was the player programs guy. I know you and Brett Good were friends, probably still are, but not teammates, obviously. But when I really like the long snappers, like, they're always they're like regular guys, right? I mean, they're the close. As much as I love the offensive line end of the locker room, because you guys are down to earth dudes, the long snappers are much closer to me, because they're like one skill set away from not playing in the NFL at all, right? Because they've developed that one skill set. And so I talked to Matt Orzech, and I'm going to write about it a little bit later, but Matt's great. And in talking with him, he did say that he felt like Smack is pressing because he didn't have a great off season, and he got to camp and wanted to make up for it. And just for you, Brian, as someone who played as long as you did in the league, I would just ask this: how perilous is that when you start to, because again, if he asked me, I'd be like, look, man, that stuff is over. Like, I'm sure you say this to Declan during a soccer game. Next play, right? Like, you miss a scoring chance or you make a mistake, it is done. There is nothing you can do about it. So don't now start thinking, oh, I have to make up for how poorly things went last week. And it's human nature to do that, but that is only going to make things worse. And so when Matt said that yesterday, I was kind of like, oh man, like, dude, fresh slate every day. Come on, you cannot think that way. They're giving you the job, so forget about that. The Packers don't care about how badly things went for you in the offseason program. So stop caring about that. Start worrying about today. Does that worry you? And did you ever have those moments? I mean, I tease you about, Bruce Irvin and whatever else, but, like, as great as you were, there were probably times where you had a little bit of a crisis of confidence too. How do you work through that?
Yeah, you don't want to press. When you press and you're trying to make up for something that didn't go well months ago or in a time period where things really don't matter, that's not good. Like, you don't want that, right? And to bring it to what you talked about, like when you're having a little rough patch in the season, if you think a good performance is going to make up for what you did or didn't do, right, 2 weeks prior or something like that, like, you're way off. Like, now because you're still thinking about that, right? Like, that's still in your head. And most likely, if that's still in your head, you're going to make that same mistake here eventually, or you're going to fall back into that pattern or that doubt mindset. So for me, it was always like, if you have a bad game, which, yeah, I've had bad games, there's no doubt about it. Like, you don't have good games and you have to evaluate it, be critical and move on. But if you start thinking about that from weeks ago, it's just going to continue and it's going to spiral. And that's where guys get caught in traps with that. And yeah, that's you don't want to hear that. Someone needs to get with him and be like, listen, man, like, who cares what happened in OTAs? Like, literally nobody cares what happens in OTAs.
Right.
Like, it is the most insignificant portion of the season. Like, you just got to take this thing one day at a time and don't even worry about, like, I'm trying to go 8 for 8 today. Like, let's just worry about going like 6 for 8, 7 for 8. Like, if you try to press and be perfect, you're not going to be perfect. And and I think that's like almost any profession, right? Like, I truly believe that's like almost any profession, besides maybe being like a surgeon. If you're not perfect, that's probably not a good thing. Probably got to be.
I killed this
guy,
but I just got to be better for the next patient.
Yeah, like, I got my shakes out, so now I'll be good. That's probably the one occupation that I would want him to be perfect on all the time. We'll just say that. Okay. Besides
I'm gonna need a commercial break. That is the funniest thing you have ever said on the radio. That was amazing. Yes. Just on to the next patient. Don't worry about the guy you killed. Next guy. All right, we need to hear from Tausch about UW Credit Union, and I want to talk to Bryan about the left tackle situation, because Steno did say some good things. They like what they've seen. He also said there's a lot to correct with Jordan Morgan, so that still is a work in progress, but there are encouraging signs. What is not encouraging is the fact that they do not have any idea who their backup left tackle is. I mean, he basically flat out admitted it. We'll hear that coming up after we hear from Tausch talking about UW Credit Union with Bryan Bulaga, our cousin sub of the day. It's Wilde Tausch.
You know, UW Credit Union, I say it all the time, it is here for every you, proudly serving Wisconsin for over 90 years. They're going to help you reach your financial goals. They are all across the state. They have a great app, easy to work, and it is a pleasure to be a partner and a member of UW Credit Union. Join today, like I did, at uwcu.org, insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions do apply.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Women's college volleyball is back at Fiserv Forum, and ESPN Milwaukee is sending you there. Listen to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy for your chance to win 2 tickets to attend the AVCA First Serve, August 21st through the 24th. Watch Wisconsin Marquette, defending national champion Texas A&M, Kentucky, Pittsburgh, Texas, and other powerhouse programs battle it out to open the season. It's 4 days of elite volleyball, electric matchups, and unforgettable action. Listen to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy this week for your chance to win tickets. AVCA First Serve at Fiserv Forum. Win tickets here.
It's National Sandwich Month, the perfect time to celebrate what Cousin Subs does best, great sandwiches. Since 1972, we've been making subs with fresh baked bread, sliced meats and cheeses, and ingredients prepared fresh when you order. Whether you're craving a classic favorite, something grilled to order, or a deli fresh creation, there's a Cousin sub made for every taste. Celebrate National Sandwich Month with a sandwich made the way it should be. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
Beautiful day for Brewers baseball. Brats in one hand, your Brewers checking card from Associated Bank is in the other. And with a tap, it's 20% off gear at the Brewers team store. An express entry so you can tailgate longer. And up to 50% off home game tickets. All that power, all for the crew. Only with Brewers checking from Associated Bank. Join the crew at AssociatedBank.com/Brewers. Member FDIC.
Shopping for new windows and doors shouldn't feel like a negotiation. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin doesn't believe in games. They never inflate pricing, and there's no high-pressure sales pitch. Just premium windows and doors built for long-term comfort, beauty, and peace of mind. Buy direct through Pella, and one trusted team handles everything with Pella-certified installers every step of the way. Real pricing, premium quality, no games. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here from MoMA. Battling a sore knee, a shoulder, elbow, hand, neck, back, or foot pain? MoMA can get you back in the game. MoMA is the new Midwest Orthopedic and Musculoskeletal Alliance, connecting trusted local providers like OIW, SMOC, and Innovative Pain, with expert care and innovative treatments provided in their offices. The Surgery Center, Ortho Laser, Smart Scan, or MOSH. With the best orthopedic care and recovery, MoMA can get you back to doing what you love. Call or walk in today. Visit MoMAMKE.com. That's MoMAMKE.com.
Summer is flying by, and now is the perfect time to take a look at your home's exterior. ESPN Milwaukee's Jen Latta here. Peeling paint, worn trim, and small carpentry issues can quickly become larger ones once Wisconsin's weather starts to turn. That's why I chose 2-Day Painting for my own home. Beyond painting, they handle the carpentry repairs and exterior improvements to help protect my investment. Right now, you can ask about 15% off and schedule a free estimate today at 2daypainting.com. That's 2daypainting.com, and tell them Jen sent you.
Calling all High Life lovers, the Champagne of Beers is making history. They're selecting their very first mayor of the Champagne of Beers region. Share your story, throw your hat in the ring, and show us why you love High Life by visiting the Miller Brewery website. Must be 25 plus to sign up, 21 plus to enjoy. Celebrate responsibly.
It's Mike with Infinity Exteriors. I've seen it all, Wisconsin. Sketchy sales gimmicks for low-quality windows, siding that costs more than a new home, fly-by-night roofers. 60,000 happy customers made a better choice. Infinity Exteriors roofing, siding, and windows all come with our lifetime workmanship warranty, no overcharges, and transparent pricing. At Infinity Exteriors, we're on a mission to save our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year.
For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis. To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, 855-PELLA-WI, or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
All right, Brian. We talked to Steno for a while about the offense and a myriad of things. He did say that he has some positive things to say about Jordan Morgan, and maybe you and I can get further into that. I'll send you some of the audio, and we can talk about that when I'm on with Homer and you tomorrow. But I did eventually have to ask, because I think this is really important. Obviously, it's most important that Jordan Morgan plays well because he's the starting left tackle. But the fact that it felt like there was no backup plan right now felt like it merited a discussion. So I asked Steno and channeled my inner Campy to do so.
I'm going to channel my inner James Campen. Say Jordan Morgan breaks a chin strap or can't find his helmet as opposed to injury.
Yeah.
What exactly are you doing at left tackle if you don't have him?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of where we got to figure it out over camp, is our next best option. You know, we have a few guys that we're working over there. So that's a big thing of what we have to figure out.
Brian, your thoughts?
Yeah, just knowing Steno and like understanding his body language and kind of, because I was around him for, I mean, every day for a year essentially. Doesn't seem like he just doesn't seem too overly optimistic about it.
No,
to be honest with you, he just doesn't seem overly optimistic. And listen, no one sits here and says that every team has a plan for a backup left tackle. Like, who replaces Trent Williams? Who replaces Tunsil? Like, you don't have guys that come in and replace them, right? But you normally know who the depth chart guy is, right? Like, you normally have an idea of who the swing guy is. And
Marshall Newhouse. Newhouse when it was Cliffy. It was obviously Rasheed Walker when it was D-Bach in 2022. Or, if something happened to D-Bach, they might have moved you at times. Like, you at least had some idea. And he doesn't sound like he has any idea.
No, it doesn't sound like they have a really concrete plan yet, or an option that they feel comfortable with. And, like, to be honest with you, that's why I mentioned in the earlier segment, I wouldn't be shocked if it was Belton. If it came down to it, right, that it would be Belton that gets moved over there. Because I get they re-signed Kennard, but he never really got an opportunity to even play tackle until what? Was it Denver? When Z-Bach got hurt, essentially. And there were times that he could have played tackle. So they obviously don't feel overly strong about that option. So, like, to me, it would probably be Belton, but he's probably not getting any reps out there right now. It would be my guess.
I haven't seen him at left tackle. I have not. I've seen him at right tackle. I have not seen him at left. They've tried, they've done a bunch of they've tried Brant Banks out there. Again, and look, there are guys that have lesser pedigrees that can come on and be a serviceable backup tackle. But, like, the other problem I keep going back to is Darian Kennard told me from the minute he got here that he preferred to play on the right side. He'd never played on the left side before. So playing tackle, part of it is. So I would be willing to bet, and I don't. Again, this is purely me guessing, so no need to be clipped. I would bet that it's Belton, like down deep inside. But they got to get him ready at guard if he's going to be the starting guard.
Yes.
Like, we can't be spending a bunch of time working at left tackle in the event that you don't have Jordan Morgan and have him not be good enough at right guard because he's not getting enough work.
Exactly. Well, and that's the dilemma that you could see it on his face that there's a dilemma with it, right? Because you may know who the option is in your head, right? You may know that option, but that option, you can't take valuable time and reps away from where he's going to play to start this thing out and get him comfortable at a spot that you're not sure he may even touch throughout the season. Like, you can't do that. Like, that doesn't make any sense. So that's probably where they're at right now, because the names you mentioned, I don't think so. I don't think that would be who you would go to if something were to happen. So, that's an issue. It's a great question, because I think that's what a lot of us talked about earlier in the offseason was actual depth, true depth in that group. Like, what does it actually look like if one of the starters go down? And there's your first answer. Like, we're not sure yet. And it's unfortunately, like, you're a guy or two away from having a lot of those answers if that is the case, with this group, which I hope it's not. I hope everyone's completely healthy and playing well, but we know what happens in an NFL season. We know, we all understand it. It's the nature of the beast.
All right, we need to get to Whoa Nelly. We can't do that until we hear from Tausch again, telling us about AmFam. More Wilde and Tausch with Bryan Bulaga as our cousin sub of the day. Stick around.
Sundays at Lambeau just got even better thanks to American Family Insurance. Enter the Dream Weekend Sweepstakes for your chance at the ultimate Packers game day experience. Winners score tickets to the November 15th game, a pregame tailgate in Titletown, a signed Jordan Love jersey, historical Packer tours, swag, and more. Your dream weekend is waiting. Don't miss it. No purchase is necessary. Enter by 11:59 Central Time on October 14th of 2026. See official rules and enter at amfam.com/Packers.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right and naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything, from the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys. Tito's is known for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on where you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Looking for your next unforgettable night out in Milwaukee? Step into Upper Bar, where the city lights meet the river's edge and every evening feels like an occasion. Perched above the Milwaukee River with sweeping downtown views, Upper Bar is your stylish escape to the heart of the city. Sip handcrafted cocktails, explore curated wines, and share flavorful bites made for good company. Whether you're meeting friends, starting your night, or just chasing the view, you'll find it all here. Upper Bar. Elevated evenings right in the center of it all. Visit upperbarmke.com to learn more.
You never know when someone you care about might need a place like Curative Care. For more than a century, Curative Care has been helping children, adults, and families across southeast Wisconsin navigate developmental disabilities and find the support they need to thrive. They help families every step of the way, from early childhood through adulthood. They connect parents with resources, provide guidance through challenging times, and create a community where people truly belong. If you know someone who may be looking for answers and support for a loved one with developmental disabilities, visit curative.org. That's curative.org. Do it today.
Meet Jim and Rita.
We went on a motorcycle trip.
But somewhere in Wyoming, Jim and Rita were in a serious accident.
They blocked off the interstate and everything and took us to the hospital.
Sometime later, Rita made a discovery.
She had noticed that the bracelet was gone. And I asked the trooper, is there a chance we can go out there and see if it's still there?
And amazingly,
he found a couple of pieces.
It was only 2 tiny links of the bracelet.
Jim was determined to buy Rita another bracelet from Kessler's.
And I had my checkbook in my hand.
But when he arrived there...
And I said, okay, how much? And she says, that's part of our warranty.
Jim and Rita discovered the Kessler's miraculous, no small print warranty.
It's just amazing that you guys do this.
And it's true.
If you bought it at Kessler's, it's guaranteed. It's just that simple.
It surely is miraculous.
Read the Kessler's miraculous no small print warranty yourself at KesslersDiamonds.com.
Are you starting college, moving to a new apartment, or just looking to create a new vibe in your college living? Make IKEA your first stop for everything you need to create a college space that's all you. Whether you're looking to add color with cozy bedding, organize your dorm with smart storage solutions, or find that perfect sleeper sofa for those weekend visits, IKEA has your college life covered. And verified college students get 15% off when they sign up for IKEA Family. It's free and packed with rewards. So go grab your roommate and head to IKEA Oak Creek or shop online at ikea.us or the IKEA app.
For all skilled sheet metal workers in Racine and Kenosha, your future is calling. If you're looking for incredible pay, added job security, and unbeatable benefits, take a look at Smart 18, the union for Wisconsin sheet metal workers. In this area, the total wage package for experienced journeymen is starting at $87 an hour. So make a smart move and transform your future today. Go to smart18.work to find out more.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
All right, we've caught up on the clock a little bit, but I do want to get to something that Gannon said and bounce it off of Brian before we go. So just want to remind you again, there's one call to make if you've been injured, and we're so thankful for David and the team at Gruber Law Offices being so supportive of our 10th anniversary. And they're the best in the business. They've got all kinds of awards. They've got all kinds of, billions of dollars won for the people that have been injured that they take care of. So make the call. 414-276-6666. 414-276-6666. Grubel office is one call. That's all. We'll wrap things up with Bryan. We're going to have him back for another cousin subbing because I did not get enough of Bryan Bulaga today. Bryan got plenty of Jesse
for a third of the show. Yeah.
Well, I had some responsibilities to take care of. It certainly wasn't by choice, and I know it wasn't Bryan's choice. We'll wrap things up next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. All day, every day. The Carbless talk and text line is open for you.
We're not trying to get from A to B. We're trying to get from A to SB, as in the Super Bowl.
800-990-3776. The Carbless talk and text line. This is more.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit fighting to save lives, protect our climate, and strengthen our economy through the shift to zero emissions. Visit us at earthjustice.org. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
Micah Parsons here. People ask, why did I join UW Credit Union? Well, let's break it down. Convenient local branches, easy to use mobile banking app, rewards checking with early payday, and that beautiful Bucky debit card. Also, they've been serving Wisconsin since 1931, which means they have local expertise that's actually local. So stop by a branch or visit uwcu.org to join today and become a UW Credit Union member like I did. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
With 18 unforgettable holes on 250 acres of natural private land, the Bog provides the ultimate golf experience. After your round, stop in the clubhouse for food and drinks. Call 262-284-7075 or visit golfthebog.com.
After talking sports every day on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, I still have the same family priorities that you do. One of the best feelings is knowing that you've taken care of the people you love. That's exactly how I felt after working with Kirsten Hildebrand and her team at Hildebrand Law Firm. They made estate planning easy, personalized everything to my family's needs, and explained every step along the way. I left feeling confident and prepared with a real peace of mind. The best time to make a plan is before you need one. Visit hildebrandlawfirm.net to request your consultation today or call and tell them Jen sent you.
This is Aaron Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited with my brother and business partner, Eric Brown. Siding Unlimited is Milwaukee's choice for siding, windows, roofing, and doors.
Siding Unlimited delivers on expectations because our experience, integrity, and craftsmanship come through on every project.
For new siding, windows, roofing, and doors, call 262-567-4513 or go to sidingunlimited.com.
QC Kinetics helps active people stay active. People like David Boardman, police officer, competitive athlete, and gym owner who trains hard almost every day.
My body's taken a lot of abuse over the years. I've had multiple knee surgeries on both of my knees. I could barely run a mile prior to going to QC Kinetics. Doctors have all told me, hey, you are going to need knee replacements.
But QC Kinetics gave David great news.
We're going to give you the opportunity to have not one, but two healthy knees, and we don't have to cut you open.
And after David's regenerative treatments at QC Kinetics?
Since I've gone to them, I run 20, 30 miles a week. I really wouldn't be able to do that if it wasn't for QC Kinetics.
From knee pain to Ironman training.
It's a no-brainer.
Now it's your turn. Call QC Kinetics to book your free consultation today.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298.
ESPN Wisconsin's Micah Tausch for Outdoor Living Unlimited. Well, my wife and I chose Outdoor Living Unlimited to build our outdoor project. And when we met with Aaron and Eric Brown, owners and brothers of Outdoor Living Unlimited, we felt like they were the right guys to work with. We share the same hardworking values, and their showroom is a must-see at 665 Larry Court in Waukesha. If you're looking for a new deck, outdoor kitchen, screen room, and more, Outdoor Living Unlimited is a must. Start with OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com and end with an amazing outdoor space.
Station updates, show clips, and your place to interact with us every single day just by scrolling through your feed. Follow along on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at ESPN Milwaukee. This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
All right, Brian, before we let you go, Jonathan Gannon was asked by Tom Silverstein about playing his defense in the preseason. Now, I'm old enough to remember when Dom got here in 2009, they blitzed the you-know-what out of opponents. And his reasoning was, hey, we got to see if our guys can do the stuff we're going to do. It doesn't sound like that's the way Gannon's leading. Is that smart?
Yeah, I think that's fine. I mean, especially being a coordinator that hasn't been on the scene for a little bit, right? He was the head coach, and I get his tape with the Cardinals, but it's different personnel, it's different people, different offense that you're protecting compared to what Arizona's was, right? It's a whole different scenario. So, yeah, I would keep things close to the vest and be as plain Jane as you can with your guys getting in the work and the calls that they need.
Well, you certainly were not plain Jane today, and the surgeon joke will live in social media infamy. That's it for us today. Thanks to Bryan Bulaga, thanks to Homer, and thanks to you for coming along for the ride with us. Have a great day, everybody. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Your premier Michigan golf getaway includes rounds at Sweetgrass and Sage Run. Book Monday through Wednesday for best available